برنا بود. دلای او بخون که خدای پنامه گران و قدرمن دوستان سلام علیکم هیله دا چرو خوشحال هوارامسی او دنین رزیده پوهن رناده به اخبرونه دیر خیر اغلاست زی مریم اسماعیل ارسلایم او دا اخبرونه تاست دی آرینا افغانستان دی نریواله شبکیز خبرانده کام خدای دی پریچه دنین رزیده پوهن رناده دی اخبرونه معلومات هم ستاسو استفاده واروسیگی بینندگان عزیز و ارجمند برنامه دانش روشناهیست با آرزوی صحت و سلامت شما برنامه امروز آغاز میکنیم. امیدوارم شاد و صحتمند باشین و هفته خوش و پرثمره باز هم با عزیزانتان در هر گوشه و کنار جهان هستین سپری کرده باشین و خوشحال هستم که باز هم در برابر شما عزیزان قرار دارم. برنامه امروز برنامه است که برای جوانای عزیز ما که در های سکول هستن و مکاتب عالی هستن برایشان بسیار مفید و ارزنده واقع میشه. در برنامه امروز به خاطر که در ایالات متحده آمریکا در ددلاین و یا وقت آخر اپلیکیشن های کالج در اواخر ماه نوامبر است، از اون لحاظ خواستم که برای شما معلومات در قسمت فراهم بسازم برای از اینکه بتونین که سوالایی که اگر داشته باشین بعضی مشکلات اگر باشه که در قسمت برایتون کمک کرده باشم. و شما دوستان عزیز ارجمند هم اگر سوال داشتین در خلال برنامه میتونین تلفن کنین و سوال شما رو هم میگیریم و همچنین نه تنها در مورد اپلیکیشن کالج، انتخاب کالج و یا فاکولته که چطور چی چیزا رو مد نظر بگیریم و همچنین کمک های مادی و یا فاینانشال اید که یک چیز بسیار ضروری است. بعضی راهایی دارن که میتونین شما یعنی قبول شوین و کوالیفاید باشین. و قسمی که هفته گذشته گفتم مهمان برنامه ما آقای کن ازراتی که معاون و یا اسیستنت پرنسپال مکتب الیسا نیکل هستن، وایس پرنسپال الیسا نیکل های سکول هستن، مهمان برنامه هستن و در قسمت سالیان زیاد تجربه داشتن. همیشه صحبت‌هایشان مفید است و ما هم از تجربهشان مستفید شدیم به خاطر که دو فرزند ما هم از این اسکول فارغ شدن. خواستیم که از اینا دعوت کنم تا بیاین و معلومات چنده و شما ایزن برسانن و شما دوست عزیز ارجمند اگر سوالهایی داشته باشین میتونین که قسم گفتم تلفن کنین. با میگیم و پای صحبت با مهمان خود. Mr. Ezrati, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much for being here and to answer our questions.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm excited.
So if you can just give us a little bit background about yourself. How long have you been doing what you're doing?
So I've been involved in education. This is my 29th year in education as a teacher, teaching social studies for many years. And I've been doing this regarding the guidance office and preparing students for college for 12 years now.
Oh, wow. How do you like it?
I love it. You know, it's very exciting that I get to work with students, which I still love teaching and I still love students. And it's interesting to see students have goals and then help them attain those goals and reach, the secondary education once they graduate and finish high school.
Very good. So at the beginning, if you don't mind, we will show the PowerPoint that you have.
Okay.
So you can go over them and explain it a little bit further to us.
Okay, great.
Yes. Until the PowerPoint gets prepared because he's setting it up. Let me ask you, what criteria should students keep in mind when choosing a college?
Well, I think that they need to find a fit for them. They really need to find a college that will work for them. It's not just about a name brand of the schools that everyone hears about, the Ivy League schools of Harvard and Yale or Princeton or UCLA or California Berkeley and California or Stanford. They really need to think about what's going to be best for them. There's a lot of factors. So it's the academics of the school, but more importantly, location of the school. How far away would they like to be from home? That's an important factor. One, in that, do they want to come home often? Do their parents want them closer to have if they have a close-knit family, to be part of that? Even costs of returning home. If it's a plane flight, how often are they going to come home versus a short drive? Weather, I find, especially for students in Southern California, is a big factor. Many of them have never been in the snow, and that can be depressing. It can be, causing a lot of taxation. I think that you want to make students comfortable in the school. They're going to be there for 4 years. It's their life, and they're going to have to succeed there. And to put challenges in place that doesn't make it the optimal environment makes things just more difficult for them and will be a harder transition for them to be successful.
Okay. خب دوستان عزیز ارجمند سوال از این قرار بود که چطور میتونیم که ما هم برای فرزندان خود کمک کنیم که یک پوانتون یا کالج را انتخاب کنن که برایشان خوب باشه. وقتی که در انتخاب یک پوانتون و یا کالج باید فکر کنیم، برای فکر نکنیم که نام مکتب، فکر کنیم نام یک پوانتونه که نام بلند داشته باشه، مثلا هاروارد باشه یا UC یا UC، پوانتون های بسیار که مشهور ضرور نیست که باشه. باید فرزند خود مد نظر گرفته این تصمیم بگیریم که کجا برشان خوب است، با کدام رشته تحصیل میکنن و موقعیت پوانتون آیا خوش دارین که نزدیکتر باشن که زودتر خانه بیاین و یا ای که در خانه زندگی کنن و همچنان قیمتشه که چقدر پول میپردازن و وقتی که در ایام تعطیل خانه میاین آیا میخواین که یک جای باشه که زود بیاین در آخر هفته هم بتونن و یا میخواین که دورتر باشه و هموطنان ما که در کالیفرنیا هستن اوار هم باید مد نظر بگیرن به خاطر که در جاهای سرد وقتی که جوانا میرن در برف و هوای بسیار سرد بعضی وقت افسردگی و دیپرشن هم برشان پیدا میشه. و حالا فکر میکنم که اگر پاورپوینت ما آماده باشه از همکار تکنیکی خواهش میکنم که اوکی فرق نمیکنه. خب این چیزایی است که باید مد نظر بگیریم. Alright, until I think there's a technical issue with the PowerPoint, that's fine. What criteria should students keep in mind when choosing a college? I asked you that question, sorry. I mean, when to start applying for college? Like, when is a good time? Can they start at the beginning of their senior year, junior year?
Yes, so most colleges will start accepting applications in the fall of their senior year. So what they need to do before that is research colleges, go visit colleges to get an idea of what they're interested in and what colleges, some of those criteria that we mentioned. Right. So that when they get to their senior year, they have a list. And we like to have students break colleges into 3 categories. We call them reaches. These are schools that might be a little difficult for them to get into based on their academics, but they really like them. Then fit schools that the average grade point average and SAT scores fit with what they have. And then safety schools where their scores are typically a little bit higher than the average. And we typically say apply to 2 or 3 of each in each category. Gives you a wide range. The Cal State University starts applying in October. And the deadline is November 30th. The University of California starts in November, and its deadline is November 30th. Most private schools have different deadlines, but most private schools have a deadline in January, some as late as February. Every private school and out-of-state school has their own deadline, so you really need to look at what's best for that individual school and meet their deadlines. But absolutely, by the time their senior year starts, they should have a pretty good plan, and in September, October, November is the time for applying for colleges.
I'm sorry, I missed the first deadline. November 30th is UC. What was the first one?
The Cal State and the UCs are both November 30th.
Both, okay.
The Cal States allow you to start a little earlier. They allow you to start on October 1st. The UCs allow only November 1st. So there's fairly a short window to actually have only a month to get your application done.
All right. خب دوست عزیز ارجمند امی فعلا وقت است که باید که فرزندان ما ثبت نام و اپلای کنن برای کالج و پوینتونایی که در کالیفرنیا وزیست که UC یونیورسیتی اف کالیفرنیا یا کال استیت است و پوینتونهای خارج از استیت کالیفرنیا هم میتونن که مثلا یونیورسیتی اف نیویورک باشه، واشنگتن یا هر چی که باشه و یا استیت یونیورسیتی ها چی که باشه. فکر میکنم همشون امی عین ددلاین داره، ولی در کالیفرنیا اردو یو سی و کال استیت ددلاینش باید مؤخر وقتی که اپلیکیشن میپذیرن 30 نوامبر می باشه و با کال استیت آغازش اول اکتبر می باشه که شروع کرده میتونیم اپلای کردن و با سیستم های یو سی 30 نوامبر شروع میشه و آغاز نوامبر شروع میشه و در 30 ختم میافته و وقت آخر است که و 3 چیزا باید که نظر بگیرن شاگرد و یا با 3 کاتگوری مختلف اینا باید ثبت نام اپلای کنن که یکی است که گفتن که هایت ریچ، یعنی یک چیزی که از سوی خودشون که اگر کم بلند هم باشه کوشش کنن که یک دو پوینتونی که از سوی خود بلندتر است اپلای کنن و یک دو پوینتونی که برابر سویشون است و هم یک دو پوینتونی که یک ذره برشون از سویشون که کم پایینتر هم باشه اپلای کنن. خوب است به خاطر که با اصطلاح انتخابشون وسیع میسازه، آپشن زیادتر می داشته باشن که اقلا در یکی از این کاتگوریا انشالله که قبول میشن. و سوال دیگه ما در مورد عزیز که در مورد admission باید داخل شدن کالج است. My next question is about if you can give us some information about college admission exams and tests like SAT, ACT and all that.
So almost all four-year colleges require admissions exam, and the two main admissions exams are the SAT or the ACT. Almost all colleges accept either one. You do not need to do both. They used to be somewhat different exams. They're much more similar now. SAT has revised it to where, so oftentimes we tell students to take a practice of each one, see which test they do better on, and a practice, and then to take that one. Some students, one is a little longer. You need to be a little faster reader. The other one is longer? The ACT is a little longer with less time per questions. So you have to read faster. The SAT tends to be a little bit more logic-based, more puzzle-type questions to figure out. But almost every college will accept every one of them. They're more regional. Certain colleges is why there's two different ones. The other thing is if you're interested in a highly competitive college or being an engineer, it's recommended to take the SAT 2, or they're called subject tests, where these are specialized tests as separate from the SAT in certain subjects. Engineering, obviously, they would like to see in calculus, in physics, and those are sub-scores that highly competitive colleges and a lot of schools, if you're majoring in engineering, want to see those scores. That can help boost your chances for admissions.
Okay, so they should take both SAT and SAT too?
Either that, or they can take the ACT and the SAT too.
Okay, so I know SAT stands for Scholastic Aptitude Test, right? And ACT is
admissions of college
test,
I believe.
Okay, you're right. خب دوست عزیز عموما دو امتحانی که برای دخول کالج و پوهنتون ضروری است، یکی SAT و یکی ACT که یعنی ضروری نیست که اردوش باید بگیرن. بعضی اوقات it depends on the college too whether they have to take SAT or ACT or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They can take either one.
خب یکی از امتحان‌ها را باید بگیرن یا SAT و یا ACT یک ذره طولانی تر است، وقت زیادتر میگیره و شاگردایی که یک ذره به اصطلاح سرعت عملشان در نوشتن جواب دادن سوال ها خوب است، ACT خوب است برشان، ولی بعضی هایی که وقت بیشتر میگیریشانه که برای امتحان و برای آمادگی یک چیز برای تمام کردن امتحانات SAT شاید برشان بهتر باشه و بعضی اوقات برای بعضی رشته های مثل انجینیری باید که رشته های فیزیک engineering and what else would they have
Engineering is the main one, but often highly selective colleges will want to see SAT 2s in whatever subject you're majoring in.
and is it also like in sciences also like
There's a chemistry test, there's a biology test. So if you were going to be at a highly competitive school as a want to be a doctor,
right,
they would like to see a chemistry and a biology test.
بعضی رشته هایی که مثلا رشته انجینیری رشته و یا اگر یک شاگردی که بخواهد که در رشته های ساینس رشته ساینس انتخاب کنه مخصوصا طبابت برای پریمت وقت که باید SAT 2 هم باید بگیرن مثلا برای انجینیرینگ شاید که امتحان کلکولاس و فیزیک باشه که بر علاوه ACT و SAT رو هم باید بگیرن ولی و همچنین در پوانتون هایی که بسیار سوی بلند داره این امتحان ها را اگر بگیرن برشان چانس دخولشان بیشتر میسازه و کسایی که میخواین به طبابت برای رشته های ساینس در پوانتون های بسیار با سوی بلند داخل میشن اونا هم باید SAT 2 را که امتحان بیولوژی و کیمیاست هم باید که بر علاوه SAT رگولار و یا ACT او را هم باید که بگیرن.
And if I can add
Sure.
that the best times to take those tests are typically in your junior year, is when you should take the SAT and ACT. Take it at least once in your junior year, sometimes twice. If you may take it earlier, but your knowledge might not be as strong as a freshman or a sophomore. So junior year is the best time. You can then study a little bit more and take it a second time, possibly at the beginning of your senior year. All those tests must be done at the latest is December of your senior year. After that, those are your scores you must have. And oftentimes taking it twice, you can improve your score. Some students think taking it 3, 4, 5 times will improve, and statistics say that does not improve it. Typically twice, maybe 3 times if you really put in extra prep work, but continually to take it does not tend to improve your score.
Okay. و بهترین وقت امتحانی است که در وقتی که شاگردی که صنف 11 می باشه که یک سال قبل از فراغت خود اگر امتحان بگیرن یک بار یا دو بار که ببینه که امتحان چی دار در بر میگیره و بعد از او وقتی که صنف 12 شد آماده بهتر بف ایده و از فکر مفکوره برش پیدا میشه که چه قسم یک امتحان است آمادگی بهتر برش بگیره و بعد از او وقتی که صنف 12 شد در شروع سال in senior year, what month would be October?
You must, it's offered in September, October, November, and December. December is the last time you can take it.
And if you're applying, deadline for application is November 30th, is it still okay for?
You can still then send another set of scores, yes.
Okay. و وقت گرفتن امتحان ماه سپتامبر، اکتبر و نوامبر و دسامبر است و قسمی که آقای ازراتی گفتن یعنی از 3 بار زیادتر گرفتن امتحان چانس از اینکه بهتر نمره بهتر بگیرن زیادتر نمیسازه. از کوشش کنید تنها 2 بار بگیرین ولی باز هم اگر ضرورت زیادتر میبینین از 3 بار زیادتر ضرور نیست که امتحان بگیرین. So information about college essay or personal statement, can you tell us what is it about, when is it necessary?
Okay, so the Cal State universities do not require a personal statement. The University of California does. They've recently changed their personal statement, and what they want to see from it, and some private schools and out-of-state schools will have an essay to write, some won't. When you get to the out-of-state and privates, you really just have to look at individual schools on what they require. But the UC personal statement, they're really trying to see what you believe in, what you value, and who you are. You want to show them who you are and why you would be an asset to their schools. Don't think of it as, I'm going to apply and I hope they take me. Look at it from their point of view. Why would they want you? Why are they going to be proud to have you as a member of their community and eventually a graduate of their university? And if you can convey that in a personal statement about, and whether that's difficulties in life or challenges or just things you value that you found. And that's a hard thing for a high school student. If 17 years, how many things have they had happen? But really, to try and personalize it, think admissions officers are reading thousands of these personal statements. They want something that stands out. So that's easier said than done.
Right.
But if you can really try and personalize and say, why am I a good fit for you? Similar to an interview. If you were in a job interview, why should you hire me? Why am I the person that's the best fit for this job?
Right. And do high schools have any programs, any kind of advisement or help to proofread their statements or help them or anything?
That's a great question. At most high schools that I know of, at least in this area, there are most students, English teachers, are very good at kind of proofreading. They've read so many of them, especially an advanced English teacher. They've been asked for help for so many times. They have some idea. Academic advisors tend to do a good job to look over and can give. I think academic advisors oftentimes can give students some ideas about what to write on. The English teacher tends to be more about polishing the actual essay to say that it's grammatically correct, that you're a good writer. And then there's a lot of private institutions that offer help. In Capistrano, we offer a service called Futurology, and it is a college counseling service where you can meet one-on-one with a college counselor that will help you develop ideas, help you write, and help you proofread and polish your essay to make it the best you can be. And they'll sit with you for a couple hours and actually go through. I've heard from many admissions officers, don't have your parents help you.
Okay.
Parents tend to turn those personal statements into what they want to write about as opposed to what the student wants to write about. And admissions officers told me many times, we can see which ones the parents had too much control over. And we push those aside because the parent is not going to the school they want the child. And if the student is willing to let the parent take so much control, they're worried about the student's decision-making and autonomy and readiness to be on their own in a college environment.
Right, exactly. So these advisors or futurologists, is there a charge for it? Is that free service?
In Capistrano, all the services are free.
Okay.
So which is nice. Like I said, there are private paid services. There are actually a lot of places that have college counselors that are hired, some at extravagant amounts of money. Some of them are very good, some of them are not so good, so I would caution people that are thinking that that's necessary to go through the whole process. It is not that difficult a process if you get dates and timelines to make sure you don't miss. I think I look at it similar to having a personal trainer in the gymnasium, right, in the gym. If you feel that you have trouble doing it on your own and being dedicated, and then maybe you need someone to hold you accountable and help. Right. If you're responsible, can do it on your own, you can definitely do it on your own.
Very good. And our African student population are lucky enough that I announced last week that we have African American conference. There's a group of students who are graduate students or postgraduate. They just asked me to announce to all the high school students that they will read their personal statement and proofread and help them.
Wonderful.
Which is a good service for them. دوستای عزیز ارجمند قسمی که پرسیدم بعضی کالج ها پرسونال استیتمنت کار دارن و یا یک مقاله که در مورد خود باید یک شخص نوشته کنه. مثلا سیستم UC کار داره ولی کال استیت ها کار نداره و چیز ضرورت نیست برش که در این پرسونال استیتمنت باید که یک شاگرد در مورد خود بنویسه که چرا که درباره شخصیت خود، درباره ازی که چرا به این پوانتون یا اپلای میکنن، ثبت نام میکنن و باید ازی فکر نکنن، درباره خود باید فکر نکنن، درباره ازی باید فکر کنن که آیا وقتی اونا این نوشته شانه در موردشان میخوانن برای از اونا ایده ازی پیدا میشه که خوی یک کاندید بسیار خوب است برای پوانتون ما یک علاوه شخص است که علاوه بسیار خوب است که علاوه کردن در امون نفوس مسئولین خود باید او چیز طرف مقابل فکر کنن که با چی چیز میخواین ببینن نه که خودش شاگرد چی میخواد و عموما پدر و مادرها را اینا میگن که باید این کار کمک امرای فرزندان خود نکنه به خاطر که واضح فهمیده میشه وقتی که یک چیزی که پدر و مادر مینویسه او عموما خواسته پدر و مادر از خواسته شاگرد نیست و بعضی پروگرام های هست که شما اگر با گایدنس آفیس مکتبتان به تماس شوین برایشان کمک میکنه که ببینه که اگر اصلاحات کار داره نوشتهشان در مورد خودشان و یا بعضی وقت معلومات انگلیسی مخصوصا معلوماتی که صنفای در سوی بلند انگلیسی با شاگردا کمک میکنه برشان پروفریت میکنن اصلاح میکنن نوشتهشان و قسمی که هفته گذشته اعلان کردم افغان امریکن کانفرنس هم گروپی که هستن اونا گفتن که اگر شما برایشان روان کنین پرسونال استیتمنتتون اونا هم برایتون کمک میکنه اصلاح میکنه برایتون نظریه میده که چه قسم میتونین بهتر بسازینش و قسمی که گفتم یکی از جوانایی که امروز ما به تماس شدن راحت جان از کالیفرنیا شمالی گفتن که اینا 42 نفر دارن که عضویت افغان امریکن کانفرنس دارن و هر کدامشان آماده از این هستن که کمک کنن ولی تا هفته گذشته 25 نفر تنها اپلیکیشن خود برشان اوایمی پرسونال استیتمنت خود برشان فرستاده بود که برشان پروفریت کنه و یا بخوانن و نظریه برشان بدن اگر در این مورد در مورد AAC یا افغان امریکن کالج کانفرنس معذرت میخوایم شما معلومات اضافی خواسته باشین میتونین به ما ایمیل کنین و ما همچنان فلایرشون به فیسبوک خود هم مندازم تا استفاده کنین و کوشش کنین که از او یک استفاده مثبت کنین برای یک پروگرام فوق العاده خوب است براتون. All right. Do all colleges require letters of recommendations, or some do, some don't?
No, some do and some don't, and that's very interesting. So the University of California, the UCs, and the Cal States do not require, matter of fact, they do not allow the letters of recommendation. It is important that students know, do not send a letter of recommendation to either one of those.
Cal State and also?
Cal State and UCs do not accept it. They do not want them. If you send one, they see it as you do not know how to follow directions.
Oh,
they will take it against you, even.
Okay.
You know, they will not read it. Some people say, well, I have a great one. I'm going to send it just in case. They will flat out, they will not read it. Letters of recommendation are typically private schools and out-of-state schools. And so they will oftentimes require, some require certain questions to be asked, and some require one from their school counselor. That's a common thing that's offered. Most schools, I mentioned the application process for the Cal States and the UCs. Private schools and many out-of-state schools now use what is called the Common Application. And the Common Application, you used to have to go to every school that you wanted to apply to and download the application or send it in the mail, and everyone was different. Now there's a Common Application. There's over 500 colleges that all use a single kind of generic application. So you fill it out once and you send it to all different schools. You can get a letter of recommendation from your counselor that the counselor attaches to this electronic application. You attach your transcript electronically and you send it. So one application can apply to 30 colleges at one time. Now, some schools require a second or even a third letter of recommendation, or it's optional. Sometimes from a teacher, from a member of the community. They'll ask something like that beyond what's normally, and then you would ask teachers or someone like that to offer letters of recommendation. So, but the standard one for out of state is a single one, typically from your school counselor. So one thing I encourage students is get to know your counselor, because they're going to be writing your letter. The better they know you, the better letter they can write you, the more detailed they can be about who you are, which provides more information to the college to make a decision for you.
So it's probably best to start building that relationship in freshman year, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you've built that relationship for 4 years, you can imagine most people you know for a 4-year period, you could write a great letter about them. You could really tell quite a lot about them.
Right. And do other schools out of state that are similar to UC or Cal State, did you say would they require the?
Oftentimes they will.
Okay.
It's something the Cal States and the UCs in California they have so many applicants they can never read all the letters, so they've done away with that. Matter of fact, the Cal States have a very simplistic process. They use your grade point average and your SAT or ACT score, and they come up with a rating system. That rating number, based on those two factors, is how they accept you. The UCs take those two factors along with 12 other factors, one of them being one of them being, extracurriculars and community service and all kinds of things like that, how difficult coursework is. They take into consideration your socioeconomic status. They can take into any difficulties you've had in life. They have a criteria. You can go to their website and look. There's 14 total criteria that the UCs base them on. And then privates or out of states are all different. For example, if you were to go to a private religious school, they can choose to make the number one criteria of how involved you are in your local religion. How involved are you, with your religion? And that could be their number one criteria above your grades or your SAT score, or how often they, and then letters of recommendation and things like that. They'll often play a part. So it's really kind of what you're looking for, as far as what's really going to play a factor.
So when you said that generic kind of application that you electronically goes like 500 different common places, can a student use that for UC and Cal States also? No, because
they have their own application. Okay. So the Cal States have a separate application. You go to a place called www.cal apply, CAL apply. The UCs, it's University of California, and they have a separate application. Now, you can do one application for all the different Cal State campuses. There's 23 Cal States, and one application for the UCs for all 9 UCs. They charge an extra fee per campus you apply to, but at least it's only filling out the application once.
Great. خب دوستان عزیز، سوال از قرار بود که آیا مکتوب سفارشی و یا letter of recommendation ضرور است برای وقتی که ثبت نام و یا اپلیکیشن برای کالج میفرستیم؟ جواب آقای ازراتی ای بود که در سیستم UC و یا یونیورسیتی اف کالیفرنیا مثلا UC سان دیگو، UCLA و این مکاتب و یا کال استیت ها، اینا مکتوب سفارشی نمیخواین، ضرورت ندارن و باید شاگردان متوجه باشن که بعضی اوقات فکر میکنم خودشون یا میگن که والا باشین مکتوب سفارشی و letter of recommendation بسیار خوبشه، شاید چانس ما بیتر بسازه و پدر و مادر شاید بگوید. بعضی اوقات آدم میخواد از احتیاط زیادتر کوشش میکنه که تمام اپلیکیشن همه چیز خود بهتر نشان بده. در صورت اگر شما با این مکتب شما با سیستم UC و یا کال استیت اگر شما بفرستین letter of recommendation برای نقصتان تمام میشه، به خاطر که اینا فکر میکنن شما نمیتونین که دایرکشن صحیح تعقیب کنین و یا چیزی که اونا راهنمایی کردن راهنماییشان نتونستین تعقیب کنین و متوجه نشدین که اونا گفتن بر ما نفرستین، به خاطر که بر تعدادی که اونجا ثبت نام میکنن یا اپلای میکنن البته ازت اندازه زیاد است و اونا وقت خود ضایع نمیکنن که اون چیزا از اون مکتوب ها بگیرن و اگر کسی بفرسته مکتوب سفارشی اصلا اپلیکیشنشان شاید که هیچ نخونن. و قسمی که گفتن با کال استیت 23 کال استیت که در کالیفرنیا است، شما تنها همون نمره ACT و یا SAT را کار دارین و همچنان Grade Point Average GPA و یا یکی متوسط نمراتی که از صنف 9 10 11 12 است با نمره که در SAT و ACT اخذ کردن از امو یک فرمولا دارن که تمو اندازه که معیار را که اینا تعیین کردن با مو معیار اگر قبول میکنن و سیستم UC همچنان بر علاوه از دو چیز 12 کرایتریا و یا مشخصات دیگه داره که برشان مهم است، مثلا ای که چقدر صنف‌های مذهبی بلند و یا ادوانس پلیسمنت و یا EEP گرفتن، چقدر کارهای داوطلبانه کردن، در کلاب‌های مختلف بودن. این همه موضوعات دیگه هم سیستم UC بر علاوه به اوسط نمرات و یا GPA و نمره SAT و ACT اینا در بر میگیرن. و پیشتر فراموش کردم که در یک چیزی که در مورد مکاتب پرایوت کالج ها گفتن و یا کالج های خصوصی و شخصی، بر از اونا اول که خود اپلیکیشن هم گفتن که فرق میکنه از هر مکتب، و دوم دیگه شرایط ازی که اونا شاید زیادترشان این مکتوب سفارشی و یا لتر اف ریکامندیشن بخواین ضرورت داشته باشن، و همچنان بعضی هایش پرسونال استیتمنت میخواین، بعضی ها نمیخواین. از هر مکتبی که است اونا شرایطشان فرق میکنن. نظر به علاقیتون باید که اونا چیزایی که اونا درخواست کردن برشان مهیا بسازین. و قسمی که گفتن که اقلا با 500 پوانتون مختلف میتونین که از طریق آنلاین، یعنی میتونین که یک جویی برشان اپلیکیشن این اپلیکیشن استفاده میشه، ولی دو 500 اینا شما نمیتونین که UC و کالستیت شامل بسازین، به خاطر که اون مکاتب و یا پوانتون ها لتر اف ریکامندیشن هم کار دارن و شما از طریق الکترونیک میتونین که تمام این معلومات برای تمام هر کدام از این مکاتب پوانتون ها که شما خواسته باشین، این معلومات یعنی برشان یک جویی میفرستین، انتخاب میکنین به کدام پوانتون ها برسه. و پوانتون هایی که در خارج از استیت کالیفرنیا است، شاید اگر مشابه با UC و کالستیت هم باشه، اونا هم اکثریتشان مکتب سفارشی و یا لتر اف ریکامندیشن هم ضرورت کار میخواین، پس آماده باشین و که داشته باشین. و بهترین کسی که برای شما لتر اف ریکامندیشن میده کانسلرتان است. کوشش کنین که ارتباط خوب امروز اونا قایم کنین. وقتی که یک شاگرد از صنف 9 وقتی که های سکول داخل میشه تا صنف 12 4 سال مکمل اینا یک ارتباط خوب داشته باشه، به تماس می باشه، همیشه میره با کانسلر خود صحبت میکنه درباره صنف‌های خود، درباره هدفشون که چی، کدام کالج میرن، چی رشته رو میخوان انتخاب کنن، که اونا برشون راهنمایی کنه و اینمی در ذهن از اونا میمونه. میتونن که یک مکتوب سفارشی و یا لتر اف ریکامندیشن فوق العاده خوب رو برشون بنویسن، با خاطر آشنایی زیادتر. هر قدر ارتباط و آشناییتون با کانسلر مکتبتون زیاد باشه، با امو اندازه میتونه براتون شاید که مکتوب سفارشی بهتره بتن. و بعضی پوانتون ها سوالای مختلف را میتن، مثلا میگن سوالا رو باید که یا یک کسی از امو کمیونیتی که هستین براتون جواب بده، مثلا کار والنتیر یا داوطلبانه کرده باشین و کانسلرتون همون سوالا رو جواب بده. و بعضی ها به صورت عموم یک مکتب سفارشی میخواین که اون چیز بسیار ضروری است که باید آماده داشته باشین. All right, so the next question is about scholarship and financial aid. If you can give us some information, how can they apply, how can they qualify?
Sure. So, the main form to receive financial aid from the government, the number one thing you need to do is fill out a form called the FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A, F-A-F-S-A, and this is the federal form for aid. We recommend that all students and parents fill this out, whether you think you make too much money or you don't, because a lot of it depends on what school you're going to and how much money they're charging. One of the interesting things when it comes to aid is private schools typically are much more expensive than our public schools, but private schools typically have much more money in endowments and aid to give. So you might have a family that you make a very good living. You think, well, I couldn't get any aid. Well, you might, depending on how much they're asking you to pay. So we really encourage, it's easy to fill out. If you can just go to the website. There are, like I said, our schools will help fill it out if there's an issue. So definitely fill that out. Most schools will not provide any scholarships or any aid, whether that's a grant, whether that's a loan, without this form filled out. So it's vitally important.
So even academic scholarship would depend on this?
Oftentimes, yes, they still want to see that. So because so many of their school scholarships are a combination of, you might be able to get a small academic scholarship, but you don't know what they can tie into it based on financial need as well. And some scholarships, especially private schools, aren't completely based on academics or need. They're a combination of the two. Well, you could have the academics, but if they don't know your need, you're no longer qualified for it. So that's the number one. To receive state aid in California, there's another form called a Cal Grant. And we want people to fill out the Cal Grant. That's an opportunity to receive state aid. Most of that is more in the form of a grant or a loan but sometimes it's a no interest loan that doesn't need to be paid back until after graduation, until the student has a job. And so those are the two main things. Scholarships, like I said, some schools have scholarships within their university, and then there's many outside scholarships that you can apply for. Our school at Aliso Miguel gives away hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships from many times service groups in the area, our Chamber of Commerce, our Rotary Club, schools like that. Local businesses oftentimes will give. Philanthropists, people that graduated oftentimes from a school that had something about them that was a certain major will say, I want to give back to someone that's like me. I'm going to give $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to someone that meets these qualifications. And some of the qualifications are absolutely, things that you really can't even control. There's a scholarship for left-handed people.
Oh, wow.
There's a scholarship for tall people, for short people, ethnicities. There's all kinds of things. And oftentimes, many of those scholarships go unclaimed. There are money out there that no one takes because no one applies for it. There's a great website called FastWeb that lists national scholarships that you can look at. One of the things that I really caution people is there are some scams out there. There's some people that will want to charge you money to say they will find scholarships for you.
Oh, okay.
Do not do that.
Okay.
Scholarships should always be free. Anyone that's charging you to say they can get money for you, they're not telling the truth. So please be careful with those types of things.
Very good. And okay, I'll ask you that later. خب دوست عزیز برای اسکالرشپ و یا بورس تعلیمی و کمک‌های مادی باید فرمی که به نام ففسیاد میشه او رو حتما خانه پوری کنه شاگردایی که به اسکول هستن صنف 12 و با وجود از اینکه شما فکر میکنین که به خاطر که فرزن پدر و مادر هر دو کار دارن و انکم یا درآمدتان بلند است فکر میکنین که قبول نمیشه و یا کوالیفای نمیشین در حالت باز هم شما اپلای کنین بعضی اوقات چانس ازی است قبول شوین مخصوصا پوانتون های مختلف پروگرام های مختلف دارن مثلا پوانتون های شخصی و پرایوت کالج ها اونا چون امو فیسشان بلندتر است زیادتر امکان داره که یک فامیلی که درآمدشان زیاد هم باشه و آیدشان شاید که کوالیفایشان قبول شون برای کمک های مالی برای فیس مکتبشان و همچنان گرانت هایی که از در کالیفرنیا مثلا کال گرانت است که یک قرضه و یا گرانت است که از طرف استیت داده میشه که بعضی اوقات یعنی بخشیده میشه و بعضی اوقات بعد از فارغ التحصیلی مثلا وقتی کار پیدا کرد میتونه که قرض را بدون از اینکه اینترست یا مفاد بده میتونن بپردازه و Pell Grant you don't have to pay back, right?
Pell Grants, yes. They're not, you do not need to pay them back, yeah.
Okay. Pell Grant که برای کسایی است که شاید که زیادتر درآمدشان کمتر باشه و او را دوباره مثل یک بخشش است که براتون داده میشه و او را دوباره ضرور نیست که شما پس بپردازین و همچنان برای از اینکه قسمی که آقای ازراتی گفتن اسکالرشپ ها زیاد اندازه زیاد است حتی سالانه در هر مکتب در هر های اسکول $100,000 بر اسکالرشپ تعیین شده می باشه از مؤسسات مختلف و ارگانایزیشن های مختلف حتی بر چیزهایی که مثلا یک شخصی که یک شاگردی که میگن با چپ دست است و دست چپ نوشته میکنه و یا بسیار قد بلند داره و یا قد پخشتر داره و بسیار چیزهایی است که اصلا ارتباط با نمرات خوب نداره و اکثرا بعضی اوقات یک شخصی که امو یک مؤسسه که امو اسکالرشپ مخصوصا مؤسسات خصوصی که اسکالرشپ ها را مهیا می‌سازن نظر به مو شاید برای اشخاص ببینن که در شرایط خودشان بزرگ شده باشه و شرایط خودشان باشه برشان شاید که اسکالرشپ ها را بده و راهی که شما چطور پیدا کنین که با اسکالرشپ های مختلف اپلای کنین یک وبسایت است به نام فست وب که اونجا ببینین که لیست اسکالرشپ های مختلفی که برای تان مهیا است می باشن ولی اگر کدام جایی ببینین که بر از پیشتن کدام فیس بخواین که بگوین که شما بر ما اینقدر پول بپردازین و ما براتون اسکالرشپ پیدا میکنیم هیچ وقتی کار نکنین به خاطر که بعضی جاهای هستن که اسکم است یا فریب براتون میده و هیچ وقتی فریب نخورین کسی که اسکالرشپ میده هیچ وقت شما پول نمیخواد هیچ وقت براتون نمیگه شما اینقدر پول بپردازین که ما براتون اسکالرشپ بدیم اصلا این یک کار فریب کاری است. So when can they start applying for FAFSA? When is the deadline?
So they can start applying their senior year. The deadline is end of January that they must complete that by. So, and one other thing that I think there's a couple. Speaking of paying for colleges and stuff, some things that I think oftentimes parents and students overlook. One, oftentimes when picking a college, parents and students will say, I want to get in the best possible school I can. I want to get into the most rigorous, the most academic school I can. Sometimes if you are willing to go to a school with a little lower academic requirements, but you have high academic requirements, the school will give you more money.
Okay.
So oftentimes, picking that top, that reach school that just is, you are like everybody else, they're not going to give you money because everyone else there. But if you are a standout at that school, oftentimes they'll give you a large amount. As a matter of fact, there's many schools across the country that want students from California. And California schools that want students from other states because they want diversity within their student body. So, I know there are many schools throughout the country that will give 50%, 75%, sometimes full scholarships with a certain GPA and being a student from California. That's it. They would not give that same student with the same GPA from their state or a neighboring state. They will not give that to because they have a harder time, attracting students from California, and they want that diversity. So that's huge. And then the other thing that, when looking at costs of colleges, don't just look at tuition. Typically, most students, their freshman year, if they move away, they will live in a dorm, and colleges will publicize the cost for the dorm plus a meal plan for food, as well as tuition. And you put those two together, along with books and a few other, this is the cost for college. Very few students are going to live in a dorm and at a dining commons for multiple years, often 1, sometimes 2 years. Look at what the rental costs are for housing in the neighboring area. Another thing, in California, many places they're very, very high. That can sometimes double or triple the cost of tuition. I know of schools in California that are in more rural areas where you can, have an apartment for your own bedroom apartment for $300 a month, whereas in other areas, San Diego, Santa Barbara, UCLA, where it's $700-800 a month to share a room with someone. Over a 4-year period, that's a significant amount of money that is never reported because it's not part of the tuition or part of what the school's charging.
Very good point. So, the deadline is end of January. When can they start applying?
Their senior year, usually August.
Beginning of it? Okay, August. Okay.
August is when you start filling things out.
All right. خب دوست عزیز البته وقتی که اپلای میکنین و یا برای کمک مالی یا ففسا در ماه آگوست سپتامبر باید شروع کنین و ددلاین و وقت آخر جنوری است که باید حتما اپلای کنین و بعضی اوقات تنها بعضی فکر نکنین که فیس مکتب و لیلیه و غذا و همش چقدر است به خاطر که یک مسئله که در لیلیه باشه بسیار زیاد که باشه برای 2 سال می باشه و هم باید بسنجین که در مو منطقه‌ای که اینا زندگی اگر کنن، اگر آپارتمان بگیرن چقدر برشان قیمت تمام میشه. اگر کرا قیمت باشه بازو زیادتر از اون، مثلا شما با یک کالجی که فکر کنین که خوی ارزان تر است ولی باز در یک منطقه است که کرای آپارتمان بسیار قیمت می باشه و وقت باز پول زیادتر میتین و اون چیزا هم باید که متوجه باشین. و بعضی اوقات خب ما فکر میکنیم که خارج از امو ایالت و استیتی که هستیم اپلای نمی کنیم به خاطر که اون فیسی که خارج از مسئولینی که خارج از استیت میتن از زیادتر می باشه از کسایی که دمو استیت جاگزین هستن. اما این باید متوجه باشیم که اکثریت پوانتون ها برای مسئولین اوت اف استیت و خارج از ایالت بسیار کمک های مالی زیادتر دارن. مثلا برایشان اسکالرشپ میده که حتی 75% مصارفش میده، حتی کلشه، به خاطر که میخواین که دیورسیتی داشته باشن، میخواین که تنوع داشته باشن، از جاهای مختلف میخواین که مسئولین به خود جذب کنن. و مسئولینی که از کالیفرنیا به استیت‌های دیگه میرن چانس ازی که اونجا قبول شون هم زیاد است و چانس ازی که کمک های مالی هم زیادتر برشان باشه بسیار زیاد است. پس همیشه یعنی باید فکر نکنیم که اگر یک پانتون باشه که ما واقعا خوش داشته باشیم و فکر کنیم که اینمی شاید یک فت خوب باشه اما خارج از ایالت است که ما در اونجا زندگی میکنیم. همیشه او یک پوینت منفی نیست، به خاطر که باید که تجسس کنیم که آیا این پوینتون بر ما کمک های زیاد اسکالرشپ زیاد میده، میشه که از استیت خودتان که خارج استیت فیسش بسیار کمتر باشه، به خاطر از اینکه اونا میخواین که دیورسیتی یا تنوع داشته باشن در مسئولین خود و از جاهای مختلف میخواین که مسئولین جذب کنن. So now that we talked about all the for college and stuff, but in order to get in there or to, let's say you applied there but then all of a sudden you're not on track for graduation or something, whether it's from the beginning or whether it's senioritis or whatever it is, what can students do to stay on track for graduation?
Well, so I think that most schools now require students to create a 4-year plan where they actually plan out the classes they're planning to take over the next 4 years of their high school career. If they stick to that plan, they should be fine. If they get off that plan, if they struggle in a certain subject and fail a class, or most colleges do not accept D grades. They'll accept A, B's, and C's. They do not accept D's, even though the high school accepts the D as a passing score. Colleges will not accept them, and they will not accept, obviously, failure grades as well.
Of course. Yeah.
So then there's remediation, whether that's retaking the class, taking it in summer school. Now most schools have an online program where you can retake a class through an online option. And then meeting with a counselor on a regular basis. We meet with every one of our students twice a year, a minimum, to check that they are on track.
At every grade level?
At every grade
Okay.
level. It is important to note, you mentioned senioritis,
Right.
because so students are applying their senior year, October, November, December into January. They typically are then notified about March. Sometime in March they'll get a letter of acceptance or denial, and usually they have to then commit, most schools, by May 1st. It's called a letter of intent to say, yes, I'm going to go here. That's when they want some money. They want a deposit. Almost every letter that comes to say, yes, we've accepted you, has a paragraph in it that says, this is based on you keeping your grades at the current level. So some students think I'm in, and now they stop trying, if their grades drop. Every year we see 1 or 2 students who the school changes their mind when they get their final grades. All schools require you to send your final transcript after June. If those grades are not equivalent to what your transcript said when you applied, many of them will reject your application. They will take back their offer.
Oh, wow.
So it's important I understand graduating from high school is a celebratory time of year, but keep your grades up is a big thing. And if you get off track, ask for help. If you're struggling, see your counselor. Don't wait till it's too late. Now, most counselors are going to check, but we can always find a way to fix if something's going wrong. It's never too late to fix, as long as you let people know.
Okay, so this 4-year plan that's required, is that required by high school that they have to start doing it?
Yes, most most high schools I know of have that. In our school district, it's required by everyone. We start it in a freshman class where they actually look at planning. And now you might adjust it because as a freshman, you don't know every class you're going to take 4 years. You might not know your interest level. We're working to move that to an online platform where students, when they change classes, they would adjust that plan on their online plan. So it would be updated and, you know, maybe they choose to go a different path, looking at different schools. We find that most freshmen are unrealistic about where they want to go to school. They don't know where, and they just know names. And they don't even know the difficulty of which schools. So there's a little bit of making adjustments as we go. But I will say there's a school for almost everyone, whether you have a 4-point something GPA or a 2.5 GPA. There's a school for you. The higher the GPA, higher SAT scores, the more options you have to choose from. But there are definitely schools, no one should say my grades are not good enough to go to a college.
Very good. So دوستان عزیز سوال از قرار بود که چطور ما میتونیم که یعنی فوکس باشیم برای های سکول و نمرات ما میشه خوب باشه رای درست روان باشیم که پسمان نشویم. عموما های سکول ها فعلا پروگرام یک وقتی یک شاگرد داخل صرف نو میشه یک پروگرام 4 ساله برایشان تعیین میکنه که با انتخاب خودش شاگرد می باشه و بعد از او وزیست که اونمو پروگرام باید که پیش ببره و اگه تعقیب کنه و اگر نمراتشان پایین باشه باید که مصنف تکرار کنه برای که هیچ کالج نمره دیره قبول نمیکنه با وجودی که در های سکول یعنی او یک نمره است که کامیابی پاسینگ است یعنی ضرور نیست که دوباره تکرار کنن اما برای کالج باید که اون تکرار شه به خاطر به ترانسکریپتشان باز نمره پایین می باشه و همچنان مواصلینی که شاگردایی که وقتی به کالج اپلای کردن و قبول شدن قبولیشان بیایه مثلا در ماه می بگوین که اوکی شما قبول هستین و در اپریل و هر وقت و بعد از اون شاگرد به اصطلاح یک ذره خود آرام و ریلکس بسازه و دیگه درس نخونه و زحمت نکشه نمراتشان در آخر سال در کوارتر آخر پایین بیایه اونمو قبولی که برایشان آمده بود و اون دوباره فسخ میشه و رد میشن و قبولشان نمیکنن باید که تا آخر یک شاگرد فوکس باشه و متوجه باشه که همیشه بسیار خوبی تا آخر سال تعلیمی درسای خود بخونه کار خود تمام کنه نمرات خود خوب نگاه کنه for entrance UC and Cal State systems is it better to have more advanced placement classes with a lower grade, for example, a B, or just regular classes have a better grade like an A?
That question is probably the most asked question, you know. And I think that we always recommend students that they should take advanced placement or honors classes in subjects that they enjoy and they feel they're strong. They will do better in those classes. They'll have more enjoyment. They'll get to experience, is this something I want to study in college? So if they're capable of doing advanced classes, they should do them to where it's a healthy amount of rigor. They should not overload themselves. You know, we have students that are staying up till 1, 2 in the morning doing homework because they think they have to have many AP classes, and that's not true. You know, a couple hours of homework a night is acceptable for a college student, but they need to spend some time to enjoy their high school years as well.
Right.
So, you know, most schools, most colleges do a weighted grade point average where the advanced classes, a B counts the same as an A. So if you were to ask me if I can get a B in an advanced class and an A in a regular class, the colleges see those as the same when calculating a grade point average. So for example, the Cal States see no difference because they are only looking at the grade point average and the SAT score. The UCs and privates will look at the rigor of the courses and they will look and see the AP class and they'll say the student challenged themselves, so they will see that as a little bit more of a benefit. And then the other thing I would say the advantage of honors and advanced classes it prepares you better to be successful in college. That's the biggest factor, is you're getting college level work and you're understanding. So when you get to, because it doesn't do you any good to get into a college and then not be able to do the work.
Right.
So that's the advantage, I think, of advanced and honors classes, is it really gives, and data shows that students that take at least one AP class tend to be more successful in college.
Thank you. خب البته سوال از این قرار بود که صنفای پی یا ادوانس پلیسمنت که صنفای سویه بلند می باشه برای کالج هم قبول میشه وقتی امتحانش پس کنین کدامش بهتر است آیا نمره پایین‌تر در اون صنف بگیریم و یا در صنفای عادی شما مثلا نمره بلندتر بگیرین بعضی اوقات بسیاری فکر میکنن که اگر هر قدر صنف ای پی داشته باشن برای مفادشان است باید تا اندازه گرفته شود صنفای ادوانس پلیسمنت و یا صنفای به کالج قبول میشه که اون شاگرد بتونه رسیدگی کرده اتو نشه که تا شبها بیدار باشه و خسته و ناراحت و بمو از زندگی لذت برده نتونه تا اندازه بگیره که برش کمک کنه نه که از نگاه صحی از نگاه روحی برشان ضرر پیدا کنه کسایی که به سیستم کال استیت میرن صنفای ای پی اصلا اونا نمیبینن طرفش فقط امو اوسط نمراتشان و نمره استیتی و ای سی تی شان میگیرن ولی با یو سی سیستم صنفای ای پی کمک میکنه وقتی که میبینن که صنفای ای پی دارین میفهمن که این شاگرد خود چالش کرده و زیادتر زحمت کشیده و مفاد دیگه صنف ای پی ای است که چون مساوی بلند است و شاگرد باید زیادتر زحمت بکشه برای کالج زیادتر آماده میسازیشن به خاطر که میبینن که صنف کالج از اون که هم شاید مشکل تر باشه اونمو یک خودش یک پرکتیس و آمادگی است برشان که بسیار خوب است.
Let me say one thing so typically your answer is AP tends to be better if all things are equal. The one negative that I have had some students come is some scholarships and some schools don't use a weighted grade point average. So if you get a B in an AP class, they see it as a B.
Okay.
Whereas an A in a regular class, they would see it as an A. So for some money for certain schools, you know, I don't know if you've heard of the WUI.
No.
As back to scholarships. So WUI stands for Western Undergraduate Exchange. And it's a consortium of colleges within the Western United States that agree that if we take students from each other's states, we will give them a discount on tuition. So it's just for certain schools within, and California is part of that. So it basically from Montana through New Mexico to Hawaii and Alaska. That area has this, but they do not weight their GPA in giving money. So the amount of money can depend on the GPA. But oftentimes it's made to, we all know that out-of-state colleges typically, it's more expensive to go to out-of-state than within the state. This is to try and keep that from happening, to give California students similar to a state, in-state tuition. For those schools, but that is a downplay of AP.
Okay, thank you very much.
Unfortunately,
our time is over. I do have other questions. Next time we'll have you again.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you.
All right, thanks.
خب دوستان عزیز ارجمند اگر سوال‌های داشته باشین که جواب داده نشده باشه در برنامه امروز میتونین بر ما ایمیل کنین mirsala@gmail.com و ما سوالاتون حتما به آقای عزرتی فوروارد میکنم و پاسخش براتون میرسونم و همچنان برنامه را به یوتیوب و فیسبوک هم میگذارم که شما بتونین که اگر معلومات بیشتر و چیزی مس کرده باشین براتون معلومات به دست بیارین و قسمی که گفتم واسه اگر سوالهایی باشه که در این مورد داشته باشین بر دخول کالج برای فاینانشال اید و همه چیز میتونین به ما ایمیل کنین. خب دوستان عزیز ارجمند بازم تشکر از اینکه برنامه رو دیدین و با تشکر مجدد از میهمان محترم و از همکار عزیزم شهاب جان برنامه امروز به اینجا به پایان میرسونیم تا هفته آینده. خداوند یار و مددگارتون. توانا بود ارکی دانا بود ز دانش دل پیر برنا بود.